Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Gaming with Priesty, the Newcastle Jets in the AFL career mode save, and we are now in the Premier League. Start off today's episode just checking out the goals for the club for the season. I got to tell you, a lot of those ones I don't really worry about, except for the on-field ones, which is make the round of 16 in the FA Cup and avoid relegation. We send the scouts out as well before we start to renew a few contracts. There's a fair few contracts we want to renew this season. A lot of our young players that have come through the academy, we want to make sure we hold on to them, and whether we play them within the squad or send them out on loan, we want to hold on to them, and then maybe they'll improve, and then we can make some more money off them in the transfer period. So I don't know what the goals are for this season, guys. I think if we can finish the top half of the lower end of the ladder, so around 13th or 14th, I think that'd be a really good season. Obviously, we don't want to get relegated, but yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from this season, guys. Get down in the comments, tell me what you expect. We know it's going to be super tough. Our squad is not the strongest, we don't have any really world-class players at the present moment. And we know, we don't want to bring in too many players. Probably looking at bringing in 5 or 6 through the transfer period. So we're not going to have a full turnover of players, so we're going to stick with some of our existing squad. And I'll bang on about how I always wanted to keep an Australian goalkeeper, but I've got to tell you guys, I found in my free agents list Hugo Lauries, and I know he's older, but I've got to tell you what, even at his age, 85 overall, we just got to bring him in. He will be our new number one. And I also found this guy, Nicola Ravella, also a free agent. He's 78 overall and a bit of an upgrade on our midfielders. So we're going to bring him in. He's only 21 as well, so we expect him to grow. And in the future, we might be able to we'll either keep him within the squad or sell him on for a nice profit. So I armed and ahed about a few of these decisions, guys. Milister Janek, he's just an Australian centre-back with the stats that he has. His pace. He shouldn't do too bad of a job. So because he's Australian, I wanted to bring us in, even though he's on a ridiculous wage here at Wolves. We offer $4 million and McGill to get the transfer through, and they accept it pretty happily. Only problem was he's on around 70,000 at Wolves, so I couldn't imagine he's going to come to us for a pay cut. So we're going to have to match that price, which I'm not overly excited about spending, but I mean it is what it is. Once you get to the Prem, you're going to have to pay ridiculous wages here. We try and get Niall Kane to go out on loan. I've got him as a CDM. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go check his stats because he could be better off as a centre back here. Get an offer for Douglas Stuff. We know this fella. He's not going anywhere. 75 overall now, and he's not going anywhere. We do get an interesting offer though for Ed Gibbons. 3.5, just over 3.5 million. So we go back. We asked for just over 4.5. With a selling clause 5%, they come back 3.5, 7%. So we asked for 4, 7%. Just keeps to and throwing, and eventually I just decide to accept the 3.5 with a 7% sell-on clause. So if they resell him, we're going to get 7% of the profit. Look, it's just not enough room for everyone in the squad. So I just decided that Ed was the one who's going to go out. And then we see here Kyle Walker, 34, 83 overall. I hadn't planned on getting in a right back because I think Laird, he's still reasonably young and has got some growth. But when I saw Kyle Walker on the free transfer list, I think that's even for a season for Laird to learn off him. It could be really good. And the same with Lacazette. 81 overall. He's lost a bit of his pace and, and really high wage. But, we just have to bring those world-class players in. We can't afford to spend too much money, even though we've got a reasonably sized budget. But yeah, as you see here, we get some offers for Douglas Duff and for Gussie Thurgate, Besiktas there in the Turkish Super League. But we're not going to let Gussie go, at least not at this point. And Galatasaray, for some reason, the clubs in the Turkish Super League are all over Gussie. But yeah, like I said, I don't plan on selling him. And then the next guy I go to sign here is Thomas Delaney. He is central midfielder, CDM, but I'm going to bring him in. I'm actually going to train him up to play as a centre back. We really need to strengthen our centre backs. We leaked so many goals last season. I can't see that changing this season. So, 32 years of age, still has some reasonable pace on him. So what we're going to do is we're going to train him from a CDM to a centre back. It's only going to take 2 weeks, and then we're going to play him in our back five. You see here, get an offer here for Wright to go out on loan as well. I'm happy for this young keeper to go out on loan. Hopefully he comes back much stronger at the end of it. Same as Cathal Dooley here, it can be difficult to get the players out on loan. You can't negotiate immediately with the other managers, so you have to make sure you delegate that, because a lot of the offers are for loan to buy, and as soon as you go into the negotiating kind of screenplay through, if you try and change the loan immediately, they just walk out. So yeah, you got to do it with a delegate, and then from there you can, once they accept that, you can negotiate their wages. We do get an offer here for Carlos Castro, C Sandro. Like I said, we've just got too many players in the squad. We've got to let a few go, and for nearly $5 million, we decide to let Carlos Castro go. And you see there, even at 32, we changed Thomas Delaney from a centre back. From a CDM to a centre back, and he goes up 2 ratings points. So you could argue that the bloke's been playing out of position his entire career. As you see, we negotiate with Cathal Dooley there, and it's a bit funny, you go in and negotiate, a lot of these young players out of the academy, they aren't on that much money, and you're in there hustling over a couple of $100, but why not? We see Brentford offer to take Dave Gordon on loan, and we have a look through the clubs here, and there are absolutely no easy games in the Premier League this season. Preston, I'm not sure why they're so powerful in this save, but they seem to be, because I think Spurs there won the UEFA Super Cup. And to open the season, we're against Aston Villa. So Dean Smith has just been sacked recently in real life, and Stevie G, Steven Gerrard, has taken charge. I'm not sure if it's the best move for Stevie G, to be honest. Up there at Rangers, he's nearly guaranteed to win the league this season, although I'm sure Ange Postecoglou would have something to say about that. But yeah, to move from Rangers to Aston Villa, who's struggling at the moment, a really big, risky life move. Because you know what, he could stay in Scotland, and win the league, win a few more league titles. Jers have been playing reasonably well in Europe. And take a safe move to one of the big 6 clubs eventually. But to move to Villa, if things don't go right, well then you don't get too many chances. So if things don't go right at Villa, could really harm his chances of taking over one of the bigger clubs later down the line. We move into the first game of the episode here. And one thing I have noticed, when you move to the Premier League, every team just starts well, guys. I'm a bit ahead with the playthrough, but I'll tell you, the start of every game, it is hammer and tongs to keep the opposition out here. And you see, we do well there. Hugo Lauries made his first really big save for the club. And you see, they're just toying us with us there, just moving the ball around. Super hard to defend. Hugo comes up with another good save, keep the score at 0-0, and then we have our first chance of the game. Lacazette on the just after the half an hour mark, and he really should be doing better there. Crashes the ball into the upright. Then right on half time, we nearly stick the ball in our own goal there. But Lauries, that's 3 big saves. Welcome to the club, Hugo. I mean, I'm and hard about a few of these players, bringing them in on the free transfer. But I was like, if you get the opportunity to sign these guys, you just can't turn it down. And then here we go, just after the 60th minute mark, and that is our first goal in the Premier League. And check that out, Barrios, the guy we've had at the club since the second season. He's been with us since League One. He's come up through the league with us, and he opens up his account in the Premier League with an absolute bomb. You can see no one comes down to close him down. He's around 25 yards out. Just decides, I'm going to let it rip from here on his left foot. And it just sails into the back of the net. And I was like, oh yes, we're on our first game in the Premier League and we're going to win. But I've got to tell you what, Villa had something to say about that. It wasn't very long either. And you see there's Samson, I believe. Just too good in and around the box, the AI. They run over. I found this really funny. He runs over and gives D. Smith a big kiss and a cuddle. Well, guess what, Dean? You're not there anymore. Barrios there. Check it out, though. Played so well for us, guys. It's nice to be in the Prem. I'm not sure how it's going to go, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed the ride. And hopefully there's good things for us from now on, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much.